Covering the islands of the Bahamas, ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
Authorities narrowing their search as the hunt continues for the driver responsible for the death of a pastor. Good evening, everyone. I'm Candino Knowles, and this is the weekend edition of The Bahamas Tonight. Well, an appeal to the person responsible for the tragic death of Pastor Kendall Stubbs seems to have gone unheard. Traffic Superintendent Ken Strawn telling ZNS News that they're now looking for a beige or cream-colored Ford Ranger-type vehicle, which was reportedly in the area during the time of the incident. They're also aggressively seeking the driver behind the wheel. Pastor Stubbs was participating in his church's early morning walkathon on Carmichael Road yesterday when tragedy struck. Again, police are appealing to the person responsible for this latest killing to please come forward. In the meantime, if you have any information that could help police, you are asked to contact 919 Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS or the nearest police station. Well, obviously another sad day for members of the Remnant Tabernacle of Praise, as today marked the first service since their pastor, Dr. Kendall Stubbs, was struck and killed during that early morning walkathon we just told you about. Now, our LaDon Davis visited the church this morning and reports on its plans moving forward.
The entrance of Remnant Tabernacle of Praise is now draped in mourning colors as the congregation pays respect to a fallen pastor. Still in disbelief, many members in black assembled into the edifice, remembering Dr. Kendall Stubbs, who served as the church's leader for 13 years. We spoke to a few members who say worship services will not be the same without their beloved pastor.
The Sunday morning is not the same as the previous Sunday mornings in years gone past for the past 12 years. It's a vacant in my heart, but it's not a vacant in my spirit this morning. Even though I know my pastor's not going to be here with us this morning, I know his presence is here with us in his spirit.
I was on the walkathon yesterday morning, and it is not easy for me. So we all sad, and we have a big loss in the Remnant Tabernacle of Praise. We had a good pastor, and it's not easy now for me to get over this.
I'm feeling with mixed emotions. The positive side of it is that I have an assurance that my pastor, our pastor, is resting in the arms of the Lord. He has lived a life that it is a life that no one can question his religious belief, and I'm quite certain the example that he lived, the example that he showed us, I'm quite satisfied that he's resting comfortably.
My pastor happens to be one of the only pastors in the world that have a parishioners that loved him to death. We showed it to him 24/7. We expressed ourselves to him 24/7. It is sad because he is gone, but he left us with such wealth of knowledge. He was brilliant. He was intelligent. I never really attended church before I became a member of Remnant Tabernacle of Praise.
Remnant Tabernacle of Praise has more than 250 members. Council member Ephraim Jones says some of them have already accepted the fact that their pastor has passed on and will now reminisce on his tenure as pastor.
Today we're having service as normal. We're just leaving out the sermon. We'll be having a reflection on our pastor, what we know about him, how he was, and the type of person he has been while he lived.
Going forward, the congregation will have to decide who will assume the pastoral role at the church. But for now, it's a question members have not yet considered. Just a few days shy of his 50th birthday, Dr. Kendall Stubbs not only opened a Remnant Academy to educate the youth arm of his church, but was in the process of opening a new clinic for his members, a dream those left behind plan to fulfill. LaDon Davis, ZNS Network News.
All right, tragedy struck on the Exuma Keys this morning as a young man apparently drowned. Officer in charge of the Exuma, Superintendent Mactavis Daniels, says a group of men went spearfishing on Musha Key when one of them cried out for help and apparently disappeared. We're told that the others went looking for him and found him submerged in waters. They then reportedly pulled him up and stopped a passing vessel where Good Samaritans took the victim to shore. A doctor on the island rushed to help and administered CPR, but unfortunately, it was too late. We understand that the victim was a gardener at Mushaki. Investigations continue. Well, getting rid of the current manual voting process is expected to be explored in the future. This news coming from the new acting parliamentary commissioner, Sherlin Hall. In an interview with ZNS News, Mr. Hall told our news team about his plans to make the election process a whole lot easier for voters.
The manual voting system for a number of years, and I think one of our challenges will be how do we modernize the voting process. We have been looking at how we could expand or improve the voting process by looking at options to perhaps introduce electronic voter registration. That perhaps may be the first step. We've looked at several demonstrations, but we have not made the final decisions as yet. But it might be very expensive, but we'll have to make sure before we go public that the system is perfected.
Now, for years, there have been discussions about the country moving towards an electronic election, which some critics believe can help avoid some of the inefficiencies and inaccuracies in the electoral process. However, there are still those voters who believe the current voting system is still more reliable and that an electronic process could create even more challenges. Well, North Abaco MP Renato Curry to wear another hat tomorrow when he receives his instruments of appointment during a ceremony at Government House. He will be sworn in as Parliamentary Secretary in the office of the Prime Minister on that northern island. The ceremony is scheduled for 2 p.m. Curry won the North Abaco seat on October 15th, beating his main competitor, the Free National Movement's Greg Gomez, by 854 votes. The win marked the first time in more than 20 years the FNM has not held that seat. Curry officially took his parliamentary seat last week, vowing to place emphasis on the empowerment of Abaconians. Well, a red carpet affair on Paradise Island. Stick close, a must-see event when we return.